Welcome into episode 2 of the Holton Naylor Show of 2025, season 2, episode 2, excuse me. The boys survived Vegas. Jack's going to join us here in a second. Anthony Smith, the receiver from East Carolina, obviously coming back next year, is going to join us as well. Caiden, we survived Vegas.
We survived, and Jack's going to join us. So
let's go. We'll tell some stories. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always,
Holton Naylor turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Naylor's to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime! Yeet, season 2, episode 2. So if you don't know, the boys went to Vegas. Me, Jack, and Caiden just went to Vegas for my bachelor trip, and boy, was it a time. Jack, Caiden, welcome to the show, boys.
The boys are back, baby!
So we survived Vegas. We Jack, first of all, welcome, brother. It's been a while.
I don't think Jack's been on since halfway through the season point.
Yeah, halfway through the season. Jack, how have you been? I know you just screeched something. How have you been?
I was screeching the song, it's been a while, but in all seriousness, I'm happy to be back. Hopefully we make this a more regular thing. I'm recovering from Vegas. Everyone talks about the days leading up to Vegas, the days in Vegas, the grind that you go through, but nobody talks about having to return back to a full work week post-Vegas with the boys. I really wish I had probably the ECU training staff with me, probably some cold tubs, some recovery, because I need it all. I'm struggling this week, but we're powering through.
Hey, we want to talk about struggling, Jack. You weren't the one who got food poisoning on the way home and had to run to airport security, survive 2 flights, and then come home and survive the night. So I had a rough go after Vegas myself. I know you both experienced my food poisoning.
We did a little bit, yeah. So let's get the fans intrigued. So Caiden talks this whole time. We're in normal Vegas, the normal strip. This is my first time to Vegas from a bachelor trip. And Caiden's like, we got to go to Old Vegas. Old Vegas is the place where you get cheap everything, and
tables.
Old Vegas is a cool place. And me and Jack are like, you know what? We were supposed to go during the daytime. We got caught up because we were winning money at the Harris, or whatever it's called. And we're like, you know what? We're going to go to Old Vegas at nighttime. So we show up. We're there for an hour. In that amount of time, a Knicks fan I almost get in a fight with, a fake Knicks fan. He bet against the Knicks. I said, what's up to him? And he said he bet on Thunder, wasn't happy. I'll let Caden explain the homeless guy who wanted to sexually assault me, and then Jack almost gets a gun pulled on us too. So, Caden, you start with that story.
What, you almost meeting a homeless guy?
I've met it.
Well, I think we were bouncing around casinos, and we couldn't figure out which one we wanted to gamble at. And we come outside a bunch of street dancers, and Holton sees... I don't know if he was homeless, but he was definitely a guy up to no good, probably selling drugs. And he's smiling, looking around at everyone, and no one's giving this guy any time of day. And only one person in the entire world makes direct eye contact, hitting the direct smile back with the same guy. And it's Holton. And I look, and Holton's smiling at this guy the same way the guy's smiling at Holton. And they're nodding their heads at each other. And you guys had to be staring at each other for a good 30 seconds. And he looked like he wanted to do some really bad things if he could. And I was just like, guys, you guys got to break that up. And Jack's just over there watching street dancers, and you're locked in with definitely a not so good guy.
I walked out, and he was looking at this like, cheesing at me. So you know what? I'm gonna do it back to him. And he wouldn't break eye contact, and neither with me. And I didn't even notice anyone else noticed. And then you're like, dude, we got to get out of there.
That was an interesting moment. And I'm lucky I was a good friend I was and pulled you away from there.
You were. And then 30 seconds after, we're like, all right, let's call an Uber. So we call an Uber, and we're waiting on the Uber. A guy walks up, and I was wearing Jordans, and he goes, dude, I love those Jordans. Are those size 8s? I'll buy them off of you.
First off, if you ever see Holton's foot in person, he wears almost double a size 8. I think anyone can walk up and see a shoe, almost double the size, and realize that's not a size 8.
But then anyway, so then I'm like, no, dude. And he was like, well, that's a fresh fit. And I was like, well, thanks, dude. We were like vibing a little bit. He was a cool guy. And then Caiden's wearing this like female East Carolina sweater.
Who said that was female?
So
Was that Jack?
he was wearing an East Carolina sweater, and he looks at Caiden and he points. He says, East Carolina, F East Carolina. And then we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then Jack Jack was the first one to.
Yeah,
Then Jack jumps in.
Jack had my back there.
I told him, I was like, you don't know anything about East Carolina. And he said, I'm from Virginia. I said, okay, well, he might actually know something about East Carolina. And then about 30 seconds passed by. I started telling him about the purple and gold. And
very passionately.
Jack,
very
hold on.
Passionately.
This is how Jack jumps in and goes, covers his head up. So it makes it a little bit more scarier. And covers his head up and goes, I ride for the purple and gold. And I was like,
right.
dang.
Right. I told him, I said, I'm a pirate through and through. And then he comes off and he's like, you're in my city now. And I said, hold on. I said, let's diagnose what you're saying right here. I said, you just said you're from Virginia, but then 5 seconds ago, you said you're born and raised in Las Vegas. Because he was like, I'm born and raised, Las Vegas, this is my city. And I said, wait a minute. I said, so are you from Virginia or Las Vegas? Like two totally different parts of the country. And then right there, he started grabbing his belt.
No, and then the LA guy comes by
and saying some explicits. And then an LA guy walks by after we resolved our issue. We're going to get in the Uber peacefully. An LA guy walks by and he starts talking about him and where he's from and trying to, I guess, say
Jack, you forget the main part that he told you he was going to gun you down.
Jack left off like so many like.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you
go.
I
was just going to say, I'm a pirate. I got cannons. I told him. I said, I'm a pirate.
And he said, I'm from Vegas. I will gun you down. And me and Jack, and I'm like, no. Like me and Jack were kind of in front of him. And then when we got in the Uber, we were like, hold up. Where was Caiden during this? Me and Jack were about to get gunned down in Old Vegas. And Caiden was like, yeah, I was off to the side just ready to... Caiden was nowhere to be found, Jack, and you can attest to this. Caiden swears he was ready, but he was not.
No, I'll tell you what I did.
Caiden, you were not ready.
I'll tell you, long story short, we thought we were getting an argument over college football with a local who we thought was from Virginia that moved to Vegas. Turns out we don't know where he's from. And then he took it to really passionately, was not a college football conversation he wanted to do in lives. And what I did this was not a moment to die over. So I was walking away from the moment like most people should. If you feel like the situation is not good, walk away.
Leave your buddies?
Walk away.
Leave your buddies?
Shot. I'm not messing with a guy who's probably not a good fella, so I'm walking away.
Jack,
it was a good Old Vegas.
Wouldn't die for us.
Old Vegas was not a good time, but the most epic experience was you rolling that
was
Black 8.
That was incredible.
That was incredible. And I thought we had a video of it. We do not have a video of it. But my dad sends me $25, says during his bachelor trip, he hit Black 8 for a lot of money. So he sends it to me. We're on the way to watch college football playoff, which we're about to talk about here in a second. I'm like, you know what, boys? This is an empty table. We're at Caesars. I'm throwing it on Black 8 right now. Pull out $25, Black 8. Boom, Black 8. Dude, I don't even know. I think I blacked out. I blacked out.
Well, you skipped it. You skipped a good section. Holton didn't want to go to Caesar's Palace. Holton also was like, I'm not gambling in Caesar's Palace because he did lose a little bit in Caesars earlier that day. I did lose in Caesars as well. I'm not saying I didn't lose in Caesars. I love Caesar's Palace. I want to spend all my time in Caesar's Palace when I'm in Vegas. And he's like, I said, let's do a casino, a little lap around the casino.
You did.
See the minimums. And even during that lap, you said, I'm not gambling in this place. I'm not gambling in this place. We walk up to a roulette table, and that's when you're like, boom, I'm doing it right here. So that's pretty impressive.
For 875, 25 went 8. I think actually 895. Me and Jack were counting it after. I was like, I think that's 895.
I would take a little credit for that.
You would.
A different part of this story was, so originally I called Holton's dad. We got DJ Captain Morgan. He doesn't answer, so I'm like, okay, I'll videotape it. If it hits, I'll send it to him. I start videotaping. As Holton puts the chips down, they start the balls rolling, and DJ Captain Morgan calls me back, and I am faced with a split-time decision. Like, do I videotape this or do I let the person who A, sent the money, B, his son, C, like the history with his bachelor trip, see it for himself real time? And so split decision, I was like, you know what, DJ Captain Morgan's got to see this. And like, it's just got to be a moment. And so that's what I went with. Looking back on it, I'm sure there's a little bit regret from each of us that I did that. But the experience with DJ Captain Morgan of me filming and then him seeing our reactions and everything, it was incredible. And it was for sure part of the Ayler's luck, if you will.
It was. You guys swore that I was lucky on that trip. I mean, it was my bachelor trip. I better have been lucky.
You should be lucky. But I was thinking later that night and a couple nights since, I was like, why didn't me and Jack just like throw a 5 on there?
You should have.
Like, just throw a 5 or just throw something on behind you. Because I honestly didn't think it was going to hit. I thought I was like, this is such a dumb bet. I was like, this is such a dumb bet. Like, it's not going to hit a random number on one spin. And, oh, my God, Destiny and her child. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right. Destiny and her child. All right, Jack, let's talk a little college football playoff. We hadn't got you on since midseason. We got Ohio State and Notre Dame. How you feeling?
I mean, I think everyone's kind of thinking the same thing here. Ohio State has looked like a force to be reckoned with this whole playoff. I think certainly that Michigan game definitely fired up the team, fired up Ryan Day. I think you've seen them play more aggressive and better than they have all season. That being said, I really do. I mean, I hate Notre Dame. So, yeah, this is a little biased. But I think Marcus Freeman is a great coach. Riley Leonard has been showing up. You'll see some of the Duke fans support him. Some are hating on him. That's kind of something to look at the side. But, I mean, I think Notre Dame covers this -8 points. But I think, you know, they're gonna keep up a fight for a little bit. What do you guys think?
Bruh, Jack, not a chance. Notre Dame gets slaughtered. Last week, Anna in Vegas, I bet Notre Dame.
Caden's been drooling all over Ohio State.
I bet Notre Dame off of Coach Swag. I was like, Coach Swag, Coach Toughness. Who's a better coach? I went all the way Notre Dame. If I was gonna do that again, I would still go Notre Dame. But when you spend how many millions they spend on the roster?
A lot.
20 million?
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
There's too much power. And as much as I hate Ryan Day and will never forgive him for my bet he destroyed against Indiana, they're gonna run them. I think it's at least 14 or 20.
I don't disagree. I did say that I will take Ohio State spread, which is 8. But in a game like the national championship, I think that first quarter, it's based off just pure emotion, energy, hype. I think it's going to start off close.
I don't know. Riley Leonard proved that last game. He's really not a thrower. He's not going to throw the ball. He didn't look comfortable. I mean, we watched that game.
Yeah, we did. When the backup came in,
we wanted the backup to stay in. What was his name again?
I can't remember.
We were chanting it.
Sandusky. Sorry.
Now we're
YouTube's probably going to
reported.
cancel us.
Oh my God. No, but we were cheering for him because he was the one actually throwing the ball downfield. Riley Leonard checked so many balls down. He wasn't comfortable in the pocket. He looked awkward.
Then he took it when it mattered, though. He won the game, which is what matters.
He also threw 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he wasn't playing. He was playing.
I agree. I mean,
and Drew Allard just kind of handed the game back.
He did. Yeah. He definitely did that. I think, I don't know, man, something about Marcus Freeman. And I think the swag that he has, the juice that he has, like those guys, to win a championship game, you have to stop the run and run the ball really well, and they do both of those. So I think it'll be close. But yeah, Ohio State is absolutely loaded. Like I will bet on it. I'm not going to put money on Notre Dame, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's a close. Like if they are close, if it's close in the fourth quarter, I think Notre Dame wins. I think the pressure of Ryan Day and them understanding he literally might be fired if he loses the game still.
He's not going to get fired.
Dude, he loses every big game.
Yeah, but he made it to the national championship. He's saved
okay.
himself.
I'm just saying there will be Ohio State fans saying he needs to be fired.
All right, there might be some crazies, but they're not the vast majority.
Okay. Well, next is
let's rank it off this though. What year you finish?
No, go ahead. You ain't want to hear my opinion. Go ahead. What do you say? What do you got to say?
No, you. All right. If you rank,
no, I was just about to say. I'm just kidding.
You go.
I think if it's a close game in the fourth quarter, Notre Dame wins it. If it's not a close game in the fourth quarter, Ohio State wins it.
All right. Coach Swag, we all know who wins.
Yeah. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman.
Player talent.
Ohio State.
What's the third thing?
Special teams. Which Notre Dame's kicker's terrible.
He actually went won that
He's
game.
went
before
7
last week.
for 8 in the college.
Jack, what do you think
football
the third
playoff
thing?
before
Coach Swag, player talent. What do you got for the third key of the game?
that? Good luck,
when
Jack.
the
You
game-
just
when
made
the
this
ga-
up.
When the game is in balance, adversity, who faces
Ohio-
it better?
Ohio State.
You're crazy. Notre Dame lost to a G5 school. They've faced far more adversity.
Player talent trumps Coach Swag and adversity.
No way that was the actual thing. Was adversity?
That's what it is.
And that, my friends, is this week's Caiden's calculation.
That's the algorithm.
That is, but there's only one person who's 100% on bowl game predictions this year. This guy.
Let's talk about here. I'm gonna go back to Vegas real fast. Notre Dame versus Penn State. I have Notre Dame. Holton wanted Penn State.
But I took Notre Dame because I'm a good friend.
Then we go to Ohio State, Texas. I had Ohio State. Holton wanted to take Texas.
But I took Ohio State because I'm
Let's
a good
talk
friend.
about undefeated in semifinals.
True.
Mm.
Well, so I didn't say Notre Dame's going to win, though.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Jack, what's your final prediction? Then we'll let you go, brother.
Taking an Ohio State spread. Ohio State -8.
Caden, final prediction.
Shoot, I might take alternate line. Ohio State -10.
Woo!
Taking Notre Dame to win the college football championship 23-21.
Holton, you always wants to do something opposite than what I want to do. We never want.
The luck ran out in Vegas, Holton. The luck ran out in Vegas.
I would say that too if I lost my whole wallet like you guys did, but
You know, it was worth it.
thank you guys. That was a mean joke.
It was the
I'm
price.
sorry.
Yeah,
It was the
we
price tag of the
sacrificed
trip.
it for you.
Hey, and that was true, but I was a good friend, and when I was up, I would buy you guys back in or hype you up to buy yourself back in, which is what a good friend does in Vegas.
I agree. I'm ready for the next trip. I'm ready for
Your
the next-
bachelor trip's next, man.
Hey.
Let's go.
Underrated player of the weekend, the President's Bar with the buy one, get one free happy hour.
It was a good time. Was a good time.
one.
Caden had a double mimosa with double shots. I don't know how you were awake after that. And then that same night, he was drinking Tito's on the rocks. Golly.
I make no comment that I don't think
Jack,
I
we
did
were
that,
joking.
but some people know ball.
Okay. All right, Jack. Good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you guys. I'll see you next time.
See you, man.
Later.
Oh, okay. We talk about all the time how good we had it when we had Jack, Drew, and all these guys in. What are we waiting on?
Can I say something?
Yeah, Grace is. This is my fiance talking. She produced the show. What are you gonna say? This is your first time. I'm gonna point the mic to you. What are you gonna say?
I think
I thought Caden didn't drink at the casino.
Oh, she called him out.
I don't.
She called him out.
I
Believe it or
don't.
not, Grace, he was like weirdly like he was either hammered or not drinking at all. There was no in between. He would have Tito's on the rocks, but then like we'd go to the casino in like the drink people would come up to us, me and Jack be like, yeah, give us some. Kate's like, no, I'm good. I'm locked in.
Truthfully, the
So-
only time I drank in Vegas was watching the college football games
You are lying.
or outside when we were just like
yeah,
venturing
that is
around.
true. You didn't actually drink in
Nope,
the
I
casino.
had coffee and water, and that's called a man of character.
Man of character. All right, we got Anthony Smith on the other side of the break. He's going to join us here in a second. First, want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Anson Belt. Go to ansonbelt.com for over 10,000 combinations of micro-adjustable holeless belts. Look, you can mix and match the belt and the buckle. They got everything. They got ECU stuff. First of all, you need to be wearing it on game days. If not, the coaches wear it. Kane, we love Anson Belt.
There's always new designs. Spring's coming up. I know a new line's gonna come up soon, and they always look good. They're always fresh. They always fit you right. Anson Belt.
Next, I want to give a shout out to Kairos Float and Wellness Studio. Look, if you want to go float, if you want to take some stress off of your bones, zero gravity, total darkness. You lay there. They also got a sauna. They also got a cold tub. They also got salt and halo therapy. This is the place to go if you want to invest in your body. Kairos Float and Wellness Studio, 2800 East 10th Street. Last but not least, we got a new one, Roofing Solutions. Look, they do roof repairs. They do roof replacements, gutters, siding, exterior, installation, and storm restoration. They're actually doing my gutters right now. When this podcast releases on Thursday, I will have new, fresh black gutters up there. Can't wait to see it. Shout out to those guys for supporting the pod. Now, here's Anthony Smith.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you for having me on, man.
Dude, let's go. Obviously, the bowl game, let's start with that. It was probably a little weird for you playing your former team. What were the emotions going into that? Like, I'm sure you knew a lot of their guys, a lot of their coaches, but you're also at your new school playing really, really well. How were the emotions going into that?
It was super, super exciting. Like, it's like I didn't expect for us to like get, because it was like a draft, I guess, for the bowl game. So I was not expecting us to get like drafted NC State. So it was like when I first found that, I was like super, super excited. My mom was calling me like, "Oh my gosh, like you get to play your old school," and I'm like, "Yeah," but I was trying to just, I guess, keep the same thing all year because I mean we still wanted to win the game.
Yeah.
Even though it was a big rivalry, so. But I feel like the whole time I was just so excited out there to play because it was like I knew everybody out there, all the corners I was going against. I look on the sideline, see all my old friends. So it was just like super exciting the entire time. It was like a practice.
Yeah,
so.
No, for sure. When you entered the portal, like what made you come to ECU? Because like obviously the transfer portal is a big thing now. Where we just got a new class. We were just talking about some of the guys off air. Like what was so entertaining about ECU, about this new offense? Like what made you pick us?
Well, at first, like I kind of like narrowed my options down to like a couple of schools, and I took visits to all of the schools. And then my last visit was ECU, and I met Coach Rob and Coach Houston and stuff, and I just like fell in love with like the small town vibe. It kind of reminded me of home and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I chose here. But like the big part was Coach Rob, though. That was the real reason why I really committed. Like I really
people love him. I mean, we had Winston Wright and Chase Sowell on, and like that's all they talk about. So like, is it just he's young, he's energetic, and just connects with y'all? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess like his energy every day. He's so consistent. Like he really like does love us, and he cares more about us becoming men and how we're gonna be. I guess after football, but trying to implement football into that. So he's like, I guess he does connect a lot better than an older coach.
Yeah,
so.
For sure, Caiden.
I gotta go right into it. That block, the Rajay run block.
Yeah, you need to get your credit, bro.
Against the former team, like everyone got caught up in Rajay, which Rajay obviously had a great run there. But you had a great block, and if you didn't make that block, Rajay might not have broke that. How exciting was that, especially against the old team as well?
It was super exciting because like it was just like mindless. I guess I didn't really think of it. I kind of just did it, and it just I guess he just broke out. So it was crazy. I didn't really think much of it until I seen all the posts on Twitter and stuff like that. But it was a cool experience. But that's what we practice every day. So
100%.
You feel me? So
this offense, I mean, is like a receiver's dream. Quarterback's dream is a receiver's dream too. I mean, everyone's getting love.
Yeah.
You're you're the top guy coming back next year, and you were in a loaded room this year and still really, really produce. Like, do you have already goals for next year? Of like sat down with Coach Roberts and said, this is what I want to get done for next year, just like personally.
Not necessarily for me personally, but I mean, always the team is always first. But it's like if we achieve things as a team, like it's always like you see the people achieve those big like individual like accolades and stuff like that. So like that's kind of I'm not trying to think too big. Like I gotta go for this many yards or get this many touchdowns. I'm kind of just trying to play ball and kind of let, I guess, the talent kind of take over.
Yeah, and this year, we talked about the good, but like there was not a lot of bad, but there was a lot of like change with a new quarterback. You started with, obviously Jake Garcia, then you go to Kate, and you start with Coach Houston, then you go to Harold. Like how was the locker room? You're the first player we've talked to on air, like since all of that happened. Like how was dealing with that as your player? It's your first year here too.
Yeah.
So like, you're an older guy though. You've probably, experienced things like that. Like how was that dealing with, first of all, a quarterback change and then a head coaching change too?
It was actually kind of an interesting experience because, like, I'm obviously not very many people have go through the experience of like a whole like head coach change in the middle of the season. Or quarterback change for that too. So it was a crazy experience because like it's not like that everywhere where the team is like actually super super bonded together where everybody is so cool with each other, like DBs and receivers, O-line, D-line. O-line receivers, like everybody's so cool with each other. So like when the change happened for both ways, nobody really like thought about it. I guess it was kind of just like everybody was still like team at the end of the day. Nobody really kind of thought like, oh, Coach Houston got fired or the quarterback changed. Like nobody really thought about that. We kind of just like we're just trying to play football. That's really all. That's kind of like what we really bond over. Everybody just loves to play football, and that's kind of how we keep things, I guess, going.
Well, I remember the first time me and Holton went to practice this past year. Houston invited us out. to watch. What's it, camp practice?
Yeah, it was camp.
And I remember watching you on a route, and you got the DB pretty good, and you were really excited, and we're like, who the hell is this guy? Like, yeah, you were just, you were amped. You brought a lot of motion. All year, you brought a lot of motion. You kind of remind me of one of my buddies in high school. He's played against, really calm guy, but he got in the field, he just flipped a switch. Like, what's that? What's the approach you take? Because you're fun to watch on the field. You bring so much energy, so much emotion. Like, what is that like? And right here, we're sitting here, and you're obviously a calm guy. So, love to hear that.
I just like to just chill, like off the field. I don't really do much. I just go to football, and then if I'm not at class and I'm at the crib with my dog, just chilling.
What kind of dog you got?
I got a lab retriever.
Let's go.
Lab retriever, yeah. So she's a pretty big dog. She's super cute. She's brindle. Her name is Pinto. Yes,
I love it. I love it.
Yes, she's super cute. But I don't know. Like, I just love playing football. So I think that's really just what it is. Like, I just love playing football. So like out there, kind of just not worried about anything but playing football. So I could just
it's just like a switch for
it's
it.
like let free, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I love that. There's so many guys like that. Like it's more defensive usually. Like those guys are so nice and they want to kill you and talk so much like crap afterwards. But like you were calm. You got in the right when you ran around. You're like boom, and you're like yelling for the ball. It's awesome to see an offense side the ball as well.
Yeah.
When you obviously Caden Hauser's a baller.
Yeah.
I mean
sure.
he is crushing. And y'all have a lot to do with it. Just talk about y'all's relationship and like how it will grow. I mean you're clearly receiver number one going into next year, so like that's obviously a bond. But like how is y'all's relationship?
Okay, he's just super, super cool. When I first got here, Big John put us like in the same lift group.
Yeah.
So like me and him were like lifting together and stuff like that because he's pretty big, so he's strong. I mean, y'all see me out there, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, so we were in the same like lift groups. Like since we got here, we was talking all spring ball. Like I was going with him, so like we kind of built that connection. So like when the quarterback change did happen, it kind of just is like back in like spring ball type of motion. That's kind of when we started to get in the groove. So I'm super excited for like I know he's gonna be like QB1 next year.
Yeah, he's going into
like,
it knowing.
Yeah, so it's like it's gonna be super exciting getting a full year with him, and then whenever he comes back from recovers from his surgery, then he's gonna come back in the summer, and then we're gonna get to work all the way up into the season. So it's gonna be super exciting.
Let's go. Yeah, we talked to Chase. And that was one thing that he said, too, was like when the quarterback change happened from like Jake Garcia to that is like the whole offseason you are with Caden and then Jake gets named the starter. So like those couple games were just like weird because y'all hadn't worked with him as much.
Right, exactly.
And then it seemed like everything flipped when Caden came in because y'all worked with him before.
Exactly. So definitely.
I think everyone forgets about the fans ECU fans are on to baseball now, on to the next one. But football season's already started again.
Yeah.
People forget about that. What's what's changed right now? What are you guys doing right now? As like the beginning of the year starts.
So right now, we're kind of just like going through like lifting and going through like our conditioning program and stuff like that to get prepared for spring ball. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Just really just lifting, conditioning, just eating meals, trying to get big and swole, preparing. Get our bodies recovered and stuff from after the season. Stuff.
It's like the dark day. Dude,
Yeah,
that's the worst. Spring ball's great. Summer ball's good. You just got to go through the conditioning. But like the period between
people don't know though.
That's
they don't
the
know.
worst,
They don't
dude.
know.
This is
bro.
a dark period.
Because when you, and especially if you have a new strength coach, you can talk about it a little bit. But like, I don't know if y'all have mat drills, but 5 a.m. freezing cold mat drills with a new strength coach. I don't know if you could pay me to do that.
I don't want to do it again.
It gets real out there for sure.
Yeah.
Like the mat drills in the morning and the winter workouts, like it gets real. Bro.
Especially, I'd imagine now with like transfers and stuff. And you were transferred last year. Of like, they're going to try to set the tone, especially these older guys, to see like what you have.
You got to though, because it's just like you can't let really anybody like in the program because it kind of just messes up the whole flow of what's going on. So like, in a sense, you kind of gotta break guys to see who's really ready to, I guess, go to
Mat
battle.
drills will break people too.
Who was trying to break you last year?
Shoot, I can't lie to you. Coach Thunder at NC State. He's like mat drills is crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So like, when
He's been there forever.
Yeah, he's a great strength coach. I love Coach Thunder. But like coming here, like it was like I was already kind of used to like the super high intensity. So like I was kind of rolling through it. I was kind of straight.
So you got the respect there really quick.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
they're all yelling in your face and stuff like that, and trying to like push you to your limits and stuff. But so everybody kind of gets.
We've seen people get really challenged at mat
People
drills.
will fold. Like you were talking about, like people folding. Like early enrollee freshmen.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't imagine that is like the
gosh.
worst thing in the world to put a
Yes.
freshman through.
Drills.
Like 17 years old, don't know
Yes.
anything, and like day 3 you're out there like yakking because you just got here. Like, dude,
Yeah.
screw this.
Yes.
I know.
Remember Miles Berry like died on it. And
This is like the 5th time we've called Miles out on.
he ended up being good though. But last year, your mindset, I think like transfer portal, like we said, is a big thing now. Like your mindset coming in last year, was it keep my head down, work through mat drills, and just show what I can do, or was it I'm an older guy, I'm gonna try to take a lead kind of early and be more of a vocal guy? Like obvious,
I mean, y'all kind of see. I'm kind of just really a chill guy, so I don't really like say a lot. I guess vocally to the group. I guess so I'm kind of just like laid back and chill. So that's kind of my mindset, just like head down, work,
Just
and
show what you can do.
Yeah, just kind of just show up. So that was kind of the mindset.
What's the new? I don't know how much you get into it, but what's the new strength coach like compared to like Big John? Like, what's different so far that you've seen?
Coach Mike is super big on like the details, like the littlest things, like, but those things do like go a long way, like cleaning up the locker room, making sure it's like looks presentable. When you come into the weight room, make sure you're jogging, like just like those little things that like really do go a long way in the like when it's 4th and 1, and we had a lot of false starts this year, so like when it's 3rd down and 4, and then we false start, you know what I'm saying, on a big down, stuff like that. So it kind of just creates that mindset out on the field as well. So
how's your relationship with Coach Harrell? Because I mean, he was a defense coordinator, and you were transfer in for 1 year. Like obviously, it probably has grown since he got named the head coach. Like, how is your relationship with him?
I feel like Coach Harrell does a great job of like trying to build a relationship with everybody. He's always going around talking to everybody, like all in everybody's face. Not like a bad thing, but like just making sure like everybody like knows like what's up. Like he's a cool guy. You can talk to him and stuff like that. So I have a great relationship with Coach Harrell. I love Coach Harrell. Super cool guy. He's easy to talk to. So I love him a lot. So
you got anything?
I was about to say that is not what every head coach is like at all. So,
not at all.
And people don't understand. I don't think people understand that, like how unique of a coach he is. He's so cool.
He's cool.
We love him so much.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy they kept him and didn't go get someone else too. That was a big one.
I'm glad they did it as well. I can't lie.
Yeah.
So
Rajay's gone, Big Tay's gone.
Yeah.
That whole
My guys.
those older guys who like had
you
been
played
through
with,
it.
you
We played with all
with
those
Mason
guys.
Sin.
For 3-4 years.
Yeah.
There's no one left anymore.
Yes, there's no one in that class really left. Like, who do you think will be the next like guys coming up that like you're an older guy, obviously, like guys who maybe didn't play as much last year, like who do you think will take into a bigger role?
That's a good question. Dang, I'm trying to think. Well, Caiden already has a big role.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think offensive lineman. McCrimmon, he's not really an older guy. I guess I think he might be a junior, maybe. But McCrimmon, I think he's going to be like one of like the guys who's been here on the O-line, I guess. So he's going to have to, and he's played a lot, so he's going to have to step up. Let's see on the defensive side. Dang, I mean, I can lie. I'll only be really chilling with like the younger guys. So, like, I like like Yannick and Jamarli and stuff. So those are the guys I like hang around. So like, I think those guys are gonna like really stand out.
Yannick is a stud.
Oh my gosh.
Like how?
Oh my gosh. I was just with him earlier. We were watching his highlights earlier. He's tough. He's so tough.
We need to get him on the pod. I don't even know if I've met him before. So he's gonna be.
He's a different type of guy. I don't know. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. Never met anybody. Didn't even know it was a thing until I met Yannick. It's like just the way he talks, the way he acts. Like he's just such a funny person. But he's like so cool at the same time. And he's good at football. So, yeah, he's cool.
So he'd be a guy to kind of step up into that role. I mean,
I think
and you're the older guy now too, and kind of mentor him. Like, do you kind of see it as that part of the relationship?
Yeah, our lockers are now moved right next to each other, so I'm gonna be on him a lot because I mean he's still super young, so like, you know how it is. Young guys coming in, they still do dumb stuff. Yeah. So it's like it's gonna be. I'm excited to see how he develops over the spring with like Coach Rob and in the summer with Coach Rob and with Coach Mike and stuff. I think him and Jamarli are gonna be like super like, big.
Especially because like success your true freshman year can be amazing for you or like terrible for you. Because like some people get very complacent and they're just like, I don't got to work hard. I can just do the same thing I did my freshman year and be straight. And we saw that with guys we played with. So man, it's something to kind of think. And then how is there's a question we always ask, like, how are the other quarterbacks now too? Like Jake Garcia is still on the roster, and then Raheem Jeter. Yeah. How are those guys? And like, how's the relationship there? With just the team and everything.
Yeah, I just think, Coach Baker and Coach Harrell do a great job of just keeping things like real, like what's up. So it's like they understand like what's going on and stuff like that. So like not being left out of the loop, I guess, is a big part of it as well. But they're still a big part of the team. They still come in every day, try to work. I mean, Caiden,
that's great.
Nobody's spot is really like, if you're not coming to work and you're not making plays, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
So it's like, if Caiden were to go out there and not making plays, then they can't put him out there. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
So it's like Caiden still has to go out there and compete. Jake still has to go out there and compete, and that goes for everybody else on the roster, myself included.
For sure.
So,
Caiden, you got anything else before we let him go?
I think we're good.
Cool, dude. Well, ECU has a great history of receivers. Hopefully, you're the next big one. So,
yes, sir. I'm excited.
Appreciate
y'all, man. Thank you.